Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike, and it is currently Friday as of recording this very short clip. Um, I'll be travelling to Bristol today, which is very exciting, and I can't wait. I've seen that the pairings have gone up, and I've got one Adam Krellin, which I believe, looking at the list, it says Imperial Fist, so an Imperial Fist Gladius detachment. I can't say I've got that much experience against like Imperial fists, but good old Sean, I've seen him fist a few people my time, so um, I think I've got a rough idea of how I will go about that game plan. Um, but I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm just at home, hanging out with my Warped Ones hoodie, my Warped Ones mug, delicious coffee, and not Warhammer related, but if people like coffee, I'm going to give you a coffee recommendation. This is my goddamn favourite. I've only been drinking ground coffee for the last year or so because I've been one of those heathens that have drunk instant coffee my entire life, mainly supermarket branded gold coffee. But if you like coffee, go get that because it is fucking awesome. Just on the coach now, couple hours, but yeah, looking very forward to it.
Can books your next in Bristol or Pastor Bristol, please?
Okay, so walking into my hotel room, definitely for the first time. Didn't come in before. Oh, look at my stuff. It's a very lovely hotel room. However, I did spend a little bit too much. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Holiday Inn, and there's me. And soon, Tim, I'll get my models out to see if they have survived the trip. It appear would have, although got a nice little dent in there. The models are alive. That is. Should have done that. Yeah, nothing fell over. I think they might have skirted a bit forward, but they're good. Hooray. Okay, so this is future me after the tournament, and basically I was very excited to get in there and start playing games. So this is literally all I recorded. So with that disappointment out the way, I won't go too in depth with my games, but my first game was against Adam. Adam was a lovely gentleman. We actually had a very good game, and I did lose. I mean, spoiler alert, I only went 1-4 this tournament, but that was more to do with the fact that I couldn't hold primary on anything on any of my games. So, yeah, Adam was a lovely dude. Really enjoyed playing him. Um, then I played Kobe. Kobe was another awesome dude. Very honest player, which obviously I love. But he was super honest with everything, and it was very appreciative because he was playing Emperor's Children and not had too many reps into that. It was fun. I got to see what happens when you fire enough shuriken cannons into a demon prince, and to nobody's surprise, dead. um, so that was basically all my games followed a same theme where basically my killing wasn't an issue; it was holding primary. The secondary game was good. Literally didn't have any problems with that. There was a couple of bad drawings that I got, um, but yeah, Kobe was awesome. Like, really enjoyed playing him. I won't go into my third game because I had a bit of an issue with my opponent. So just to keep things positive and friendly and fun, I won't say anything about that. But that was a close loss to myself. But with that was the first day out the way, and after that, me and a couple of the guys there went to Nando's. Nando's was surprised to see so many people trying to sit down at one table, so we got split up and had a couple tables to ourselves, and then we headed back to our hotels for the next day. And I still forgot to record anything, so I'm very disappointed with myself. I've let my team down. No, I haven't. But going into the next game, I played a really lovely guy called Stephen Kelly, and I would absolutely love to play him again. He was such a gentleman, and it was Stormlance Space Marines. And before the game started, he told me that he was a newer player, but also the fact that the army was being raffled slash auctioned off for charity, and it was a very lovely painted army as well. Um, Lots of bikes, Storm Raven gunship. That was something I've never gone against before, and Sean told me that it could hold some troops in, which was okay, cool. That's what a lot of things can do. But it could hold a dreadnought in it, and I was just like, "What are you talking about?" And it's like, yeah, it could just fly over, drop off some dreadnoughts and some dooders, and just be in front of me turn one. And I was just like, okay. Um, but Stephen was such a great opponent. Game was actually relatively close. I did pip that just because I was able to kill enough things to just actually sit on points. So that's how I scored my primary. Was basically my primary game was kill or be killed, and there was a lot of probably I would say misplays for myself in all my games because Wind Rider Host, while it is still my favourite, still quite new to it, and I still don't quite know what to run with it. The Shining Spears certainly were a mixed bag because they lost me a game with a failing a 5-inch charge, and I didn't have any CP at the time, so I couldn't do it. So I just rolled it, and I think I rolled a 4 instead of a 5, and I was just standing there looking at my poor Shining Spears just out there in the open, and yeah, they didn't survive that game. But Stephen, 10 out of 10 opponent. I could not recommend anybody more to play him because he was just so lovely to talk to, and I would love to see him again. So that was Space Marines. And then my last opponent was a guy called Scott, and he had lots of tanky Necrons, which I've never dealt with before, and good God, I don't want to do that again because that was so hard. That was also another tight game, but I did lose that one as well. Um, the Silent King is a mean, mean man. He has too many things. Put him in the bin. What was the? Oh, the Wraith block. I've never had to deal with a Wraith block before. So we worked it out at the end of the game, and basically I put nearly 1,000 points of my army into killing this one block, which I didn't even do in one go. It took 2 turns. Granted, on the second turn, it was one Wraith and one Technomancer, Cryomancer. I can't remember what they're called. But it's the character that gives them the feel no pain, and basically I killed the Wraith in Overwatch, and then it was just the character left. I had Assassinate at that point, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to back my Shroud Runners out of combat and shoot him to death. And they nearly whiffed. And it was literally the last shot, and if I didn't kill him, he said that he had a reactive move, and I think that would have made me incredibly sad. But that was actually a very good game. I really enjoyed that. So my weekend, I would say, was a big old success. For my first Super Major ever, not taking a particularly competitive lift. Well, I would say semi-competitive. I did get a lot of compliments from people saying about how many bikes I had, and like they could see how much dice I'm rolling. Lots of very, very friendly people at the weekend, and I was super pumped to just go there. But like having all these people that were just so lovely all the time, just no particular issues with anybody. Like I said, I won't go into Game 3 because Game 3 was did not have fun. I'll leave it there. But if anybody is thinking about going to one of these tournaments, don't let bad opponents, like even like my experience, like don't let that take away from the fact that you could have such a blast at one of these. And I would 100% recommend going to something as big as this and just have fun, because I had so much fun playing my Windrider host. I can't wait to start theory crafting a new list to go with. But with that said, I'm extremely tired. I got sick over the weekend as we're so just got flu now, which wasn't ideal. But I mean, in terms of like the list that I ran, I'll give a quick rundown because I don't want the video to go on for too long. But basically, killing was not an issue. The Windrider output was so crazy. A little swingy at times, but it was absolutely crazy. I'm just picking up these dice and I'm just throwing. There were, a lot of the time I did have all 5 Windriders on the board, and I'm like in my shooting phase, and we're looking at 18 dice. 18 dice for just 6 Windriders, times that by 5, and we are looking at 90 shuriken cannon shots each phase, a shooting phase of mine, if I didn't lose any bikes, which was actually surprisingly quite often. So I'm having to deal with that many dice, but the way to position them was just to make sure that it was the closest edgeable target for them, so they're always re-rolling. And like the Storm Raven gunship, I one-shot with a squad of Windriders. I didn't even get to use my Farseer because I was just rolled it. Gave myself additional AP from the strat, and then I gave myself the reroll wound roll because I had also, at this point, I had invested a lot of CP in this one unit to go down, but I did the 6-inch deep strike. I then did the I used the token for no Overwatch actually, and then I used the AP strat and then the full Wii Rune strat, and just gone. Which probably shouldn't be very surprising when it's that, but that thing popped. But like, there was also other times where they didn't do anything. So it was good. Like, I really, really enjoy that kind of gameplay. I do prefer melee armies, so I think I will explore that again. Um, or maybe adding to it. But, like, in terms of walking for nerds, in my eyes, even though I lost 4 games, I only won one, I think that was a wild success because it then allowed me to actually see where the flaws are. Which was basically just holding primary, but that's an Eldari faction issue, not just specifically Wind Rider. So, with that said, a quick roundup. I had a lot of fun this weekend. Would 100% recommend anybody to go to a super major, or even just like a local tournament, perhaps like an RTT. Maybe like wean yourself in first, or you can just go for a 2-dayer. But just get yourself out there. Don't expect yourself to just win every game. You may do, but just go out there, have fun, play your army, meet new people, and I assure you, you will have fun. So I'll leave the video there. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble about my weekend. I hope it helps somebody. Maybe not. Maybe some entertainment value. I don't know. But yeah. Bye bye for now.